Hey Red Rocks families, welcome to the video. You've got Rudy Schreier here. I am the Director of Family Care, and we have Josh Miller.
I run marketing and admissions.
So this is the first video of the series. And in this first video, we have just a little conversation we'd like to have, help set some expectations and let you understand a little more about what we do. So Josh, what would you say the philosophy behind the clinical care that we give at Red Rocks Recovery Center would kind of fall into?
If I had to sum it up in one word, it'd be community. And that can be a buzzword, it can mean a lot of things, but we really subscribe to the belief that no one recovers alone. And so our programming is multifaceted. Clinical is obviously super important and a massive piece of that, but we also have a heavy focus on case management, which for young adults or emerging adults looks like a lot of life skills. We're going to get outside and go camping and have fun because we believe fun needs to happen in recovery. We're going to do a lot of 12-step community engagement because that's going to be a free lifelong support to our people after they complete treatment. And we're structured. We believe in accountability. We believe in accountability to not just staff, but to each other, to our peers. So I say that to say that all of those things serve to build that recovery community that we believe will sustain recovery long-term for our young people. It's hard to build. It's hard to give that to people on a silver platter and to get them really engaged in it. But if you ask me to describe the heart of Red Rock, that's it.
Many treatment centers are based on the 28 or 30-day model. Josh, why do we do things so differently than that previous kind of setup short term?
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's still value in a 30-day program, in a 28-day program. A lot of our clients may come from those, right? It's not that they aren't valuable, it's just that they are just the beginning. You know, if you look at the course of treatment compared to let's say a massive knee injury or knee surgery, that is the surgery piece. It is the very beginning. If you don't get out there and do PT and find a way to heal and recover, that surgery really won't have the value that it was intended to have. And what we've seen in treatment for years, our experience has taught us that just that inpatient treatment is not enough. And so the goal of Red Rock is to really thoughtfully bridge the gap between that I'm completely out of my world treatment experience and how do I re-engage in community and life and employment and fun? How do I find all those things while still having services and clinicians involved and people helping me? And that's really what we are attempting to do.
One of the things that we talk about from a clinical perspective is that when we're treating an acute disease, we give it acute care. But as many of you have begun to experience, addiction is a chronic disease that requires long-term care. And while Red Rocks is ready and prepared to help out for the short term, the idea behind a lot of our programming is to start off with a heavy level of clinical care, and as a client engages within the community and finds their own support outside, eventually we can taper them off to no longer need the Red Rock care and accountability, but to be able to have the community support outside to support them.
Yeah, it's absolutely the goal. We want to give them the life that will allow them to not need us anymore.
My expectation is that many of the families listening to this video right now may be having some anxiety, not sleeping at night, having some gastrointestinal distress, kind of associated with your loved one receiving care. One of the things that I would like to ask of you is, along with this video, you'll have received a PDF. In that PDF, we'll be talking about the type of accountability that will be available for your loved one. We'll be identifying the structure that will be put in place for them, as well as our family blackout, which means for the first 30 days of your loved one's care, you will probably not be speaking to them unless there is a therapist present and available. You will be in contact with me in the next week, and I'll help go over some of these guidelines with you a little bit more personally. But I would like to ask, please go through that PDF so that your expectations and our expectations can be met in the middle. Many times you'll hear the phrase said that recovery doesn't occur in a bubble. One of the things we ask of you is to help be that support. We can't expect that from you without you receiving support. Just like the commitment for your families will involve many, many hours of work every single week, we're gonna ask a little bit less of you, but we do have hours of work. We'd like to invite you to come in person to attend group therapy once a week, or if that's not a possibility, we can meet online. We have HIPAA certified software that allows you to interact with other families and engage in honesty and vulnerability to connect with the past, the present, and the future. Homework sometimes will involve things like field trips. I might ask you to attend an Al-Anon meeting, and maybe part of the assignment will be to have a couple conversations based on a specific topic. I may ask you to implement boundaries with your loved one and hold firm. There's a lot of things that we have as expectations, but very little of it probably makes sense at this point because I'm speaking a slightly different language. So a lot of what we'd like to do is to teach you a little bit more about what recovery can look like, what addiction can mean within the brain, and what it's like to live within a solution.
At Red Rock, we believe that if the family heals, we give a much better chance for the individual to heal. And that's why most of us are here. But we know from our experience that you guys watching, you need help too. You need support too. You need treatment too. And that's why we're here. That's why Rudy is here. Over the next 12 to 13 weeks, we are inviting you, we're pleading with you to participate, to be here, to be engaged. I'm asking you to do what Rudy's asking of you. Because I promise you that you will benefit from it, your loved one will benefit from it, and that the treatment that we're all participating in will be better.
While we ask your loved ones for a 12-week commitment, why don't we just start off with a 1-week commitment? Commit to answering the phone when I call, and commit to attempting to follow through with a simple homework assignment. I'd like you to spend a little bit of time thinking about what your role has become within the family. Are you being a father? Are you being a mother? Are you being a mayor? Or maybe you've started shifting roles into a scapegoat. Maybe you're having to be a police officer, fighting everyone to stay in line and obey the law. Maybe you've turned into a medical provider, attempting to help detox your loved one at home. What role would you like to get back to? I'd like you to spend a little bit of time journaling about what it was like to be in that role before and where you're currently at within that role. Do you get to do it 10% of the time? 20% of the time? What would you like for it to become? I'd like for you to get a chance to explore some of the family support groups that are available. There's a lot of big names out there, Al-Anon, Nar-Anon, but in different areas of America, we have different smaller groups that are available. I'd like you to show up a little bit early to a meeting and stay a little bit late. One of the key things that Josh and I have talked about today is a sense of community. I'd like for you to get a chance to explore what that community could look like in your life. When you show up early and stay late, you get an opportunity to have conversations. Conversations with other people who are in similar places to you, or maybe they've already been there and their loved one's doing better. While you're attending a family support meeting, I'd like for you to see if there's someone there that you can feel comfortable with and have a conversation. I'd like for you to ask them about some of the lessons that they've learned about how to love someone who struggles with substance use disorders. In the next 72 hours, I'll be reaching out to you directly and trying to schedule an opportunity for you to join a group with us. In that group, we'll be able to process some of these assignments, talk about some possible stuck points, and identify some of the lessons that we're learning as individuals. And for the first time, I get to say to you, families, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for showing up.